It's when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding. So at 17 years old, I used to caddy, I go and take golf clubs, carry golf clubs around, and I'd go to my bank and I would buy silver dimes and quarters, not nickels. And then I'd look for all the ones with a copper on them, and I'd throw it back in the bag and take it back to the bank, but I kept all the silver coins. Again, that's Gresham's Law. And the reason I like what you're saying, Mr. Silver Slayer, is that Gresham's Law is in full force right now. Bad money is pumping into this system, and all these idiots, it's called financial stupidity, they're saving dollars. You gotta be kidding me. And they're printing so much money. And the beauty of silver, let me say it again, everybody in the world can afford $20, or you can afford a dime. You can go to a coin store and say, I'd like a 1963 dime. You might pay $1 for it. But that's how stupid people are. They don't realize that silver has not only been an industrial metal, but it's also a monetary metal. It's been used as payments for years and years and years. So I was 17 years old going to that, and it took me to 1972 when after Nixon took the dollar off the gold standards, and now what's going on there? If you read my books, I talk about flying. I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam. I flew behind enemy lines because the NVA, North Vietnamese Army, overran the position of the gold mine. But I was such a gold bug. I flew behind enemy lines and tried to negotiate gold at a better price. And back then, gold was it went from 35 to 50. And I write about it. I'm standing in front of this little woman, Vietnamese woman with red teeth because they chewed betel nuts. And my co-pilot and I, we're both college graduates. And I said, I'll take gold at a discount. She just looked at me. I said, it was 35 to 50. I thought maybe she'd sell it to me for 40. And with little red teeth, she goes, spot. I said, what?
That's great.
Do I have a spot on my shirt or what? So here's this woman. I doubt she went to Harvard, and I don't think she had an economics degree, but she was schooling two Americans who had no idea what spot meant. So what does spot mean to you, Mr. Slayer?
Spot price.
What does that mean to you?
Spot price is what the price of silver is. Actually, spot price is irrelevant. If you want to get real deep, spot price is irrelevant, but that's what the set price of silver is at any point throughout the day. But premiums nowadays, kind of erase what spot price is.
You get too deep on this thing. Because look, I'm a U.S. Marine. Marines aren't the brightest matches in the box. I just keep it simple. Spot is the price of that product all over the world. Mm-hmm. So that's why I've always recommended gold and silver, because it's universal. It's global money. Also, gold and silver are God's money. It wasn't printed by the Federal Reserve Bank or the Bank of England or the Bank of Tokyo. Gold and silver were put here by God. I'm not really religious, but they're on the periodic table of elements, I forget what's gold's something and silver 74 or something like that. So that's why I recommend gold and silver. But it took me to 1972 standing in front of this little Vietnamese woman in front of her gold. And that wasn't a gold mine, but she was the vendor for the mine. And she goes, spot. And I was doing my best to negotiate the thing down, because if she's behind enemy lines, I should get a discount. she could give a shit. And that's when I became a gold bug and a silver bug. Anyway, that's kind of my story. So I'm not an FNG, fucking you guy to this whole thing. I'm hardcore, and I'm almost on Lear Capital saying I recommend silver and things like that. And I think it's the biggest bargain. Again, this is October 2022. It's still about $20. I was buying silver at $50. Everything else has gone up. Even gold's gone up. But silver stays depressed. And if you don't take advantage of this, they're idiots, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, uh, it's honestly insane. You know, like if we could fast forward in the future, or even back in time and say this is what's going on in the economy right now. You know, yada yada yada, the dollar. What do you think silver's price is? And I'm sure everyone would say it's probably $100, $200, $300, but it's not. You know, on paper it should be, but then you could go into, you know, manipulation or whatever's going on. But in my opinion, you can't throw dollars to, or no matter how many dollars you throw at silver or throw against silver, is going to be able to stop the inevitable. You know,
And there's one more big thing about silver. It's consumed.
yeah,
Generally,
yeah, that's, yeah,
gold is not consumed. It's
yeah,
stored. They stack
yes,
they stack gold. They burn silver.
yeah.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah, gold is a monetary. It's used for jewelry, coins, bars, a little bit in electronic. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones, but silver is mainly used in the industrial world. It's used for everything. You know, solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G towers, silver lithium-ion batteries, everything. There's even colloidal silver in the medical world. And I can't imagine, you know, I always say Elon Musk is like the mascot. Imagine a day where Elon Musk comes out and says, you know, we have to cut down the amount of Tesla production because we don't have enough silver. Or the Green New Deal has to, you know, get prolonged or something because we don't have enough silver. And that would be the reality. And that silver is literally what's going to save the planet. I mean, we're talking about global warming and climate change, but how are where are we going to find the silver to make these solar panels at this rate? You know, it's not realistic. And that's the craziest part about this, you know?
Yeah. Hey, so we're going to go to a break, but I think I want to thank you, because you were talking about, you were quoting I think my tweet or something, where there's micro and macro economics on this. So macro, silver is being depleted, it's used for the Green New Deal. The question is, can you get any of it? And that's what we'll go into right now, because as you quoted me, as I called my gold and silver guy, I've been dealing with him for 25 years. He says, I can't get silver. When we come back, we'll be talking about what's going on in the silver market and why, in my opinion, and Slayer's opinion, that silver is the best investment October 2022, as the world economy collapses and you don't buy silver around $20 an ounce, you're the biggest loser of all.